Horses can plan ahead and think strategically. Horses are much smarter than previously thought. In a new study that examined the animal's reactions to a game of rewards and punishments, the horses showed the ability to plan ahead and analyze costs and benefits. The animals cleverly adjusted their approach to the game to get the most treats with the least effort. Horses have become a permanent part of human history. Their endurance for long-distance travel and their ability to carry heavy loads enabled humans to spread quickly around the world. Their domestication, which according to a recent study took place 4,200 years ago, heralded a new era in human history, because horses significantly sped up transportation. After thousands of years of observing horse behavior, it was assumed that they were not very smart creatures. Previous studies suggested that horses simply reacted to stimuli, and did not think ahead or plan their actions. But our research shows that these animals are aware of the consequences and outcomes of their actions, said Louise Evans from Nottingham Trent University, lead author of the paper, which has been published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science. Scientists from Nottingham Trent University wanted to better understand how horses learn. This knowledge can be used to improve their training and welfare. The researchers developed a special game for the animals, the difficulty of which increased over time. At first, the horses received a treat after touching a laminated A3 sheet of paper with their noses. A whistle accompanied the correct response of the horse. Then a stoplight was introduced into the game in the form of a flashlight attached to the scientist's body. From that point on, the treat was given only when the sheet was touched when the light was off. The duration of the stop signal was random. The task involved 20 horses. Touching the sheet of paper with their noses and gorging on treats caused the horses no difficulty. However, when the stoplight appeared, all the horses had trouble completing the task. They touched the card with their noses regardless of whether the light was on or off. Despite this, the researchers gave them treats for correct answers. In the final stage, the researchers introduced a penalty for touching the card when the stoplight was on. The penalty consisted of a 10-second break during which the researcher with the stoplight would take a few steps away, look down, and lower the laminated card. During the penalty, the horses were not allowed to play or receive treats. The introduction of the penalty completely changed the behavior of the horses. The researchers observed a sudden and very significant reduction in errors in all the animals. The horses began to play by the rules, touching the card only at the right moment to receive a treat. It might seem that the horses did not understand the game in its original form. But the researchers suggest that the horses may have understood the rules from the beginning but found a way to play, or more precisely, to earn treats, without paying much attention to the rules of the game. Only the punishment element made them focus more. The researchers say this shows a higher level of cognitive processing than previously thought possible in horses. The animals were able to immediately change strategy and behave differently when there was a risk of losing something. This approach requires thinking one step ahead and is goal-oriented. The horses had to focus on what they wanted to achieve and the steps they needed to take to get there. The researchers say such elements were previously considered beyond the cognitive abilities of horses. At first, we found that the horses simply touched the card over and over again because they probably knew they would continue to receive frequent rewards with minimal mental effort, said Dr. Kari Ijishi, a CO author of the paper. There was no cost for messy touches. Sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. However, when we introduced a cost for their mistakes, they immediately understood the rules and played correctly. Horses are not natural geniuses, they are considered average. But this study shows that they are not average and are in fact more cognitively advanced than we think, she added. We expected that the horse's performance would improve when we introduced punishment, but we were surprised how immediate and significant the improvement was. Animals usually need several repetitions of the task to gradually acquire new knowledge, whereas our horses improved immediately when we introduced the cost for mistakes. This suggests that the horses knew the rules of the game all along, Evans said. Ichishi also admitted that horses have a very poorly developed prefrontal cortex, which in humans is responsible for, among other things, working memory and planning and predicting the consequences of one's actions. According to the researcher, this suggests that these animals must use a different area of the brain to achieve a similar result, which in turn shows that we should not draw conclusions about intelligence based on anatomical structure.